Essential that crap. Essential that crap.
So welcome to another Essential Dad Crap video, and the crap we're going to look at today is tins, EDC tins. There's 3 on the bench. We're actually going to look at this one today, and if there's enough interest I'll do the other 2, and we'll dig into the contents and I'll show you exactly what's in that particular tin. So let's talk about the tin first of all. This particular piece of Essential Dad Crap measures 96 mil, something like that, so just under 4 inch, and around about 63 or 2.5 inch, something like that, all told, and is around about 1 inch thick. So fits quite nicely into most pockets, bags. It's quite a small tin. So the tin itself was a generic silver, I guess, tobacco tin or mint tin. You can find them on sort of Amazon or Temu, AliExpress, wherever your favourite retailer is. And this particular one I decided to customise with a green and sort of copper effect. So for anybody interested, it's basically a acrylic paint on there. I then used a bit of glue and put some gold leaf on there to give it a sort of rustic appearance. The whole thing doesn't have a real patina. In fact, I would hazard a guess that this contents in this tin is less than 12 months old. So yeah, but obviously it's purporting to be something that it's not quite. It's not my granddad's tin, that's for sure. I've obviously stressed it because I've packed it out, as you would imagine, to the gills. So therefore it's got an elastic band on it. This is just fabric elastic that I've crudely stitched together, and it just acts on there. Acts as a stopper from stopping the lid. You can see the lid springing up already. To be honest, the lid is only springing up because in the top I happen to have this bag, which I think some people call this a boo-boo kit, which is a horrendous term. But essentially it's got, I'm not going to take everything out, but it's got a bit of paper in there if I want to write something down. It's got compedes in there, a couple of plasters. I do like compedes just as plasters. They're much better at sticking, the adhesion's better, so I would definitely recommend compedes if you do have a ridiculously named boo-boo kit in your carry. Okay, let's put that to one side. I shan't spend time folding that out neatly because we could swallow the video doing that, and then we'll talk about the tin. You can see I've carried on customizing the tin inside as well, so it's got copper leaf. All this is colour fast, by the way. It's I think this stuff's called Mod Podge. It's really good for sticking stuff to stuff and then putting a coating over the top. Okay, so let's go with the blindingly obvious in the middle of the tin. So here we have, I think this is a Gerber EAB, EAAB, if you want to have a look at one. But effectively, it's just a utility blade. It takes the standard SK5 utility blades. It's really easy to change out. You just push that out, swap the blade round, swap for a new blade, and then obviously away you go, and you've got a really nice little cutter within your kit. This one's obviously got some topography on it. I'm not sure if you can get them in other styles, but I really like this just as a handy thing to cut things with. So pop that over there. Where should we go next? So we'll go with this pen. So you might think, well, that's a really short pen, no use to anybody, but haha, it's telescopic. So the cap screws on and off. I think it's originally designed for being used on like a keychain, so you can attach that to your keychain and just sort of unscrew the pen off there. But actually, size-wise, it's reasonable. I mean, you wouldn't want to be doing your homework with it, but just for making a note, it's a reasonable size for a guy with chunky hands. It fits quite well. So collapse that down, pop that over there, and try and keep these things straight, which is what people seem to do in these types of videos. Okay, let's go with the torch next. So this is a Olight i3 EOS. I mean, why they have to come up with these characters for names, I have no idea. This is a really simple torch. It's well known, obviously, in the EDC community. It's just a AAA torch. It obviously unscrews at the top. Battery in there, so readily available if you run out of charge at any particular point. There's no fancy buttons, no memory, etc. I think, and I am going off memory here, but I think it's about 90 lumens, which is plenty. You know, if you want any more than that, then carry a torch. But yeah, just twist on and off. So just a quick twist on and off, and that suffices just to get you to where you need to be in the dark. Okay, we'll go with the bright yellow thing in the middle. So this is a clipper torch. I think this is a clipper mini torch. It is a clipper mini torch. I just can't remember if it's called mini. But really handy little torch lighter. Really handy little lighter. Refillable, of course, so it means you can reuse it and lights really well. Decent amount of capacity for gas in there, especially, you know, let's not forget this is like a pack go tin. You know, this is when you forgot something and you want to just fiddle with something or fix something, then this is what the tin is designed to do. It's not intended to keep you surviving in the wild for 3 weeks in the Amazon jungle, that's for sure. I like to put a little bit of glue stick in here, really handy to go with a lighter. So just give it a light on the edge. It melts pretty easy, as you can see. Surprisingly sticky and will hold quite a number of things quite adequately, and a little goes a long way as well, unlike when you use it in a glue gun and it comes out like it's Niagara Falls. We'll go with this next. You can call it a pry bar if you want. I'm not sure I would. I'd probably call it more like a bottle opener, but there is a pry edge on this particular tool, so you could use it for levering some bits and pieces open or cleaning your nails or whatever you want it to do. But as a bottle opener, it works really well in there. Let's put that down there. This is technically a toothpick, so I've got quite a lot of these in my kits kicking around. I wouldn't say I use it as a toothpick. I probably have done, but it's really good for sort of picking splinters or starting breaking the skin or something like that if you want to get a splinter out. But just generally happy. I guess as a pinch you could use it as a SIM card extractor, but I don't even know if SIM cards are a thing anymore these days because everything's virtual. We'll go with this ugly monstrosity next. So you might be thinking, what the hell is that? So this is a bit extender from a drill bit set, just standard 1/4 inch, and then I have resined a piece of leather around that to make some sort of handle, shall we say. Really simple to do. Just reverse that into the drill, spin it, sandpaper on the resin once it's gone off, and you'll get something that looks, I don't really know what it looks like, but all I know is it adds some traction to your, some friction I should say, to your hand where you want to use it as a screwdriver. Okay, and then we'll go with these. So these, I would say, are just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So you can see the prints coming off. I've had these quite a while now, but these are the Nextool, I don't know if I'll pick it up because the paint's faded, Nextool S0, and these are, let's call them a travel friendly because I can speak to experience. These have been on quite a few hand baggage luggage through airport security. In fact, this entire kit has recently just been to Rhodes with me, except for the obvious, which is the Gerber EAB. So I've been through East Midlands a couple of times with these, at least to my memory, and I've never had any particular problem with them. Fantastic pair of scissors, serrated on one side and sharp on the other side. Could be the other way around actually. But yeah, really good at gripping stuff, cutting stuff, absolutely fantastic. They do have a few other bits of tools on these as well, so again, if you've not seen them, you get a flat Phillips blade on there as well. You get a micro slotted screwdriver on there, and then you get, sorry, wrong side, you get a slightly larger slotted screwdriver, and of course a bottle opener on there, all of them non-locking, so really handy. And then on this side, this sort of 90 degree funky set of tweezers, which are okay, but they're okay, but I don't think they're their best feature. But honestly, if you haven't got these, I don't know what you're doing. You should get yourself a pair of those. They are absolutely the ultimate essential dag crap. USB adapter, so USB-A to USB-C. No charger cable in here from capacity, but I just find an adapter is really handy. It's okay having the cable with you sometimes, but when you go to a socket, if you're pinching some power off somebody and they're running USB-A and you're a USB-C cable, having something like that really helps. On there, oh, got a couple of screwdriver bits in here. I dare say I could probably squash a few more bits in here, but to be honest, for most everyday stuff, you know, a slotted screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver or posi drive screw, I think this is a posi bit actually, are going to suffice for most particular things on there as well. And then just coming to the end now, so we have a dedicated pair of tweezers. These are some sort of titanium alloy. Again, I've got loads of these pairs in different carries, but these really are much better than the tweezers that are on the Nextool. So having those in there is handy. I tend to throw a safety pin in. I've carried one of these for years, but mainly for SIM cards. So I've done quite a bit of travel in Africa, and when we were in the EU, let's not get political, but when we were in the EU and data mattered worldwide, buying a local SIM card, I used to use one of these, but it lives in there and it doesn't take any space. And then the last bit here is grossly an earwax cleaner. I'm not going to take it out. It has been used for earwax, but a handy little thing. And then now you're all expecting me to pack this back into the tin, but I'm not going to do that on camera. But if you're interested in any other tins that I've got, then let me know and I'll quite happily do another tin review. Thanks for watching.
Essential that crap. Essential that crap. I got 5 flashlights, but I'm home by 4. Bought another knife, cause it looked like the one before. Made a leather pouch for a pen worth 8 quid. Spent 3 nights stitching. Don't tell the kids, my pocket's way more than